what's up, man?
So yeah, Jimi Barrz, man. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
the show.
Thanks for having me.
We go way back, man. We go way back.
Yo, can we talk about that? Like,
Wait,
the birth of Jimi Barrz? Like,
damn.
Day one?
Like 1977 birth or what?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Oh, he a young cat then. He a young cat. As far as I'm concerned, hello.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was born when the Atari 2600 came out.
Oh, shit.
Which is dope. The actual day.
Did you own one?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
He was just born, man.
Yeah, I was a baby, I guess.
I'm thinking prodigy and genius. Fuck it, man. You know, everybody's getting pacifiers. He's getting video game consoles.
If you hear his music, you would think he was born with an Atari in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I just I guess I discovered music at an early age. There was a group that would always perform in our backyard. And they would perform in our garage, and it was like it's called conjunto, which is like just like pianos, like electric pianos, and like kind of like ballads music,
or like or like a jam band, right? Like a jam band.
Yeah. It was a jam band, but they played everything, like cover band, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Are you from LA?
Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
South Central,
South Central, right by the LA Memorial Coliseum.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Been there ever since.
Oh, so when you're in the like where'd you get the hip hop bug? Because I've heard some of your music. Like what like when did that start? The whole hip hop evolution.
I think it started like when I was about like 13 or 14. I used to go to this shop and we used to buy like cassette singles back then with my boys from the hood.
And with the paper wrap.
Shout out to cassettes.
Gotta, like, pull them shits out.
45s.
Well, it was the clear plastic. You had to see the artwork and stuff.
And then push it through. Like
Yeah. So my first ever cassette was Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
Takes two to make a thing go right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know the dude. Big up to Win. He's probably listening in right now, or watching us right now. But the dude Win, that new Rob Bass, he ran that record in. It wouldn't be no Rob Bass and Easy Rock because of them. And they shopped it to a bunch of labels. They even shopped it to Def Jam, and they were like, "No, we're not feeling this. It's too dancey."
Dope. That's dope.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a dope. Yeah.
So you say he walked it in? That's
He was like, "Yo, y'all got
dope.
something. Let me start pushing that record because nothing sound like it."
Yeah.
When that record came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what saved me, I think. Like we used to go buy like cassette singles with the homies from the hood, and I was the youngest one out of all of them, and we used to walk to USC, which was a couple miles away from our
Fight on. We just had a fight Trojan earlier on the show.
And I bought that cassette, and we used to just have like little parties at my friend's house, and everybody was playing like their single, you know. So they were like, "Yo, Jimmy, play your single," and it was the first time ever. So that I got to play a single, like you know, like they eject. You know, they hit stop, they eject the tape, and then they load it in. And right when, like, the fucking drum hits, it was over. Like, everybody, like, started dancing and shit.
Yeah.
And right then, I knew, like, you know, like, I was supposed to be a DJ. Like, and, you know, later on, like, in life, I found out about production and all that stuff. But that's where I found my hip-hop bug.
So you started off as a DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
What was tell them your DJ name. What was your DJ name?
Oh, well, I used to tag back in the days. I guess it's like
It's
like a tradition.
like
Everybody, you know. So like I used to write on
artist
buses and
expression.
Jimmy is hip hop. Except no breakdancing though, right?
Yeah. We did some of that too.
Okay,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. But
So your DJ name.
Yeah, my DJ name was my tagger name, which was DJ Tamper. Tamper, like tamper, like, you know, you break something or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was my DJ name, and I started DJing like a lot of like dance music because I started in 1991. I was in the 10th grade in Manual Arts High School, and I used to have 3 homies of mine that would play all the hip hop. You know? And I was a Latino out of the crew, so like they would be like, "Yo, Jimmy, you gotta play like the banda music," and I would be like, "Fuck that,"
banda,
you know,
that?
like some crazy like some traditional Mexican music, but I had to play it on vinyl.
It's like marching bands, like horns and
I mean, it's dope. It's dope as fuck, but like I had to play that because I was the Mexican dude, you know. So I was like, "Yo, I'm not trying to play that. I'm trying to play like some
be the
techno or
mariachi
some
DJ.
shit."
So what was in rotation at that time? You said some dance music. What was in rotation?
Well, back then the stuff that I wasn't able to play was like Nothing But a G Thing had barely come out. Like all these dope records had barely come out.
Yeah.
So like I was playing like old ass like Mexican music because I wasn't current with it. So I would play like some stuff that was like 1985 or something, and I would like scratch it and shit.
So you had records and shit back then.
Yeah, like
records.
real vinyl.
Okay.
We used to rock pep rallies and stuff. And
Yo, for those that don't know what a fucking pep rally
rally
is,
is for real.
you probably need to Google it because I forgot.
it's just
dude, that's hard. That's pep rally.
I guess nowadays kids just call it the turn up or something. I guess.
Yeah.
But that shit evolved.
Yeah. So you know, I started getting like more comfortable with playing music, and I started playing techno. So that's how a lot of my sounds now. It sounds like a lot of like techno.
What drew you to techno? Like what was it about techno?
Techno
that
was like Detroit, Chicago, like the evolution of house music.
Yeah.
Like,
well, when I was a kid, they used to do a lot of like raves around my neighborhood.
Okay.
So a lot of raves that I couldn't get into, so I would like sneak in the back of the fence and like look at the DJs lift up the needle and put it on the record.
Yeah.
And it would spin. And back then, even though I was spinning records, I didn't have my own techniques like turntable. I had like just like my parents' turntable / radio / cassette deck, everything. So it was
all in one.
Oh, you had that cabinet joint.
Yeah.
The
With
cabinet.
the 8-track.
Yeah.
Nice
So
finish.
you would like try to scratch it and it would like break the needle. And stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I would go in there and just like I would watch them from far and I would just be like, "Yo, this shit is dope. This shit is like real dope." Like I guess I kind of knew the power of like the needle hitting the record. And like it was just dope. It was just dope.
That's what's up. That's
so
what's up.
No, I was gonna say you was that cat that taped the penny on top of the needle. You did that.
Yeah. I did that too. Yeah.
You had to.
Because only because we didn't know how to use the counterweight back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was just like
I just set that shit on 0 and just like ruin needles.
Yeah.
Ruin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That shit's too heavy. I'm like, what do I know about that?
Yeah. So
what was your first set of turntables like when you first got your turntables? Like what was it?
When I got my first semi-pro turntables, it was like a boy of mine, and he had I think he was about like 25 years old. I was like 15, and my parents bought them for me. God bless them for that. And
They were 12s?
Yeah.
yeah, no. These were called linear techs. These were before my 1200s. So I was like, "Yo, are these gonna cut it?" So my boy was like, yeah, and he does this crazy like this like crazy like a technique on them. So I was like, oh yeah, these are the ones, So I started rocking with those, and then almost when I graduated from high school, like I think like in the 11th grade, I bought the 1210s, and those I still own those now.
Black ones.
Yeah. 12.
Yeah.
I still own them. Yeah. So. And then those were my only techniques I ever bought. Like I bought some more.
How much
later.
were they when you bought them?
Man, they were expensive. They were like $700 still.
Yeah,
At that time?
Yeah, that's
Word.
expensive.
Yeah.
That's
I
expensive.
bought a few pair, man, and it was like
You bought what?
I said I bought a few pair of those joints,
yeah.
man, and it was pretty expensive, man.
Yeah.
$700 at that time.
And
was
then
a
they
lot.
went
It's
like
a lot.
they went out of stock and like they went discontinued.
But but that just goes to show like how well built those turntables were because
tanks.
Yeah, if you still have them and they're still quality, turntables, and they last. They can last. 20 years, 20 plus.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things wrong with them, but I mean, they're like 25 years old. So I mean that's dope right there.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. My first set of turntables were the fucking Gemini BD60s.
Damn.
And BD stand for belt drive.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just lucky to have some fucking turntables. I'm like, yo, I want to scratch, and I'll go to scratch, and that belt. You can't move that belt, so it'll fly your shit forward.
Right. That's why magnetic was the way.
Worst.
Yeah.
That's why magnetic was like instant.
But you were still rocking. That's what matters.
I thought I was rocking, man, until I met this like Indian kid. His name was Sashi in Oak Park, Illinois, Chicago, and he was like, "Yo, what kind of turntables, man, you have at the Axie?" It's like, I got some belt drive BD60. So it's like, no, you got to get turntables. You got to get the techniques.
Mm-hmm.
He took me to his crib. He started rocking the technique.
Techniques were the magnetic, or
it was the
magnetic
direct drive.
Direct drive.
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
But the whole
quartz driven.
I guess in the nerdy world, like it's just a magnet, right? It's not belt.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go inside them, you see the big magnet that sits and then it pulls it forward.
Because that's how I understood it.
Understood
it.
Yeah.
So
man. So
that was like industry standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then I went from watching DJs to becoming an actual flyer DJ and rocking like undergrounds and raves and DPs, which were ditching parties. People would skip school and just go and just listen to dope ass music.
Wow.
So
what's that one venue or that one time that you remember that was just the ultimate time where you DJ'd?
I think it was this flyer party that some girls they were called psycho bitches, and they were psycho bitches.
I know a few of those.
I didn't expect that. Okay,
but
are they still roaming?
Yeah.
I think I ran into one last night.
I hope. Yeah. But it was just dope. It was just a perfect set. Played every record that made sense, and everybody loved it. Yeah. So that was dope.
And I know since you still do lived by USC, you would do the USC parties as well.
Yeah.
So those would go off.
It was like frat parties or
yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to DJ Remix out in Las Vegas and DJ Mixmaster Mike here in LA still. Those were the dudes that took me under their wing, and like they saved me from everything bad that I was doing. I was like involved in gangs. I was involved in tagging crews, and then those turned violent. And then so once I learned how to DJ and how to like get a family with DJing, it's like all of that left me. Like all of that bad luck left me, Yeah. And it was just dope from then on. It was just like, just vibing with people, vibing.
That's cool.
Just playing some dope records, playing some dope music. Yeah.
Yeah, well, kids, I mean, it's kids don't understand that music is a culture. It's something that you can get involved in. It's a club. You find people with the same commonality that different races or whatever. It just doesn't matter. If you like dope music, this other kid like dope music, it's like y'all can hang.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all can talk about cool shit. And I think just music is like a lifesaver, man.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lifesaver.
But do you think kids nowadays don't understand that, or
you know what?
Like because when I see kids at
that.
Coachella, I think they do understand that. But with a lot, like, I don't know, we just so much other put into it, like fashion and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel
I don't
like
know.
the culture was a little bit known because I mean, like the artists, they took responsibility for that. It's like, yo, I'm an artist for the culture. Like, I'm doing this shit to bring people together. But
Right.
now you got the cats that come in for the fame, so it gets a bit selfish. So it leads a kid on. It's like, oh man, he's doing it for himself.
Right.
He ain't really doing it
That
for me.
I
You know what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
with
So-
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Do you
what
agree?
saved-
Do you agree with that? You agree with
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I dig anything dope. So like if like there's dope fashion, if there's dope whatever. I mean,
Speaking
expression.
of
anything,
fashion,
you know?
So yeah, before we broke off last time, we were asking about the fits, the wears, the daishiki.
Yeah.
What's good with that, man?
colorful?
That's culture. That's Africa right there. That's
for
Mexico
sure.
though.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
native.
Yeah, this one is made in the Philippines. Like,
okay.
I got it. I got
Like
it
that.
from a shop in San Francisco.
Can I touch that?
Yeah, for sure.
That's good
it's
stuff.
colorful,
Real deal.
vibrant colors.
Yeah, so I saw a dude at Mercado rocking one. He was a large dude, and I was like, yo, like I need some of that. You know what I mean? Like I need some dope shit to like represent myself outwardly. You know, like creatively. So he put me on, and I bought like 4 of them right away.
That's
dope.
dope.
Yeah,
And
so-
for those of you that think LA we're some snobby, we don't talk to anybody. That's a perfect example of
Right.
what LA is not.
Yeah. You just gotta ask. You
Just went straight up to dude, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Yeah.
if you don't ask, you won't find out.
Yep.
So going right into that, because I mean that represents like culture.
Yeah.
The state of the culture that's in the music right now. We talked about this, but I mean, I felt like back in the days, not way back in the days, but when hip hop was like forming and then it went into the 90s and everything like that, a lot of artists was doing their music for the culture. It
Yeah.
even goes back. It even goes into like the battles. You know, I overheard some cats talking about this. It's like when a cat was battling, beef and battles are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
A beef is like, yo, when I see you on the street, I'm whoop your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Battle is like, yo, bar for bar, lyric for lyric, we're going and we're gonna keep it music.
And what you got?
Or a
For sure.
DJ battle too.
Yeah, DJ
Yeah.
battle. Yo.
Right, right.
And it was a
Scratching
part of
the
the
mixing,
culture.
yeah,
You
yeah.
had to like battle a cat to really get that
Yeah.
respect.
You had to
in the
call
street,
someone
man.
out. You had to
Well,
call
yeah, it
someone
was
out. Yeah.
levels. It was
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah. Levels.
It was levels.
Yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about that right now? Do you see it in the culture right now? Because I'm not seeing it. Maybe I got on like bad contacts or something.
I think there's a lot more market involved now. Like there's
Market?
there's more
Yeah.
of, There's more like
Like corporate.
like corporations like just just putting money into all these products that
Yeah.
are probably whack or aren't
Or just a
aren't
commodity.
good.
Like a commodity.
Yeah. So they'll endorse an artist and the artist. I mean, it'll probably be something whack. But I always go back. I always go back to the to just being simple and basic as a human being, and everybody wants us
Yeah.
around for who we are, not for what we wear. And it's like So I respect the the basic like attire as well and all that. You know what I mean? I'm not into like super big brands.
Yeah.
Only because I'm a creator, so like I could make a lot of stuff, and I could make a lot of stuff work. So I'm not really into big brand names and stuff like that.
So you're saying if a big brand name came to you and say, "Yo, I got $1 million for you," what how would you handle that?
If I had some creative control, it would be dope. Not if it's gonna be like, yo, you need to wear like this
Like
this
sequins.
get up right here
Yeah.
and act like you're rocking it,
Yeah.
Right.
Like
You have to feel it. You have to just feel the
you
feel
gotta
the product.
it. And then I think what it is that there's a lot of dope people that grew up within that culture period, and they grew up into professionals right now. So there is a lot of dope designers. There are a lot of dope companies out there that are doing dope shit.
Yeah.
So I mean that's dope too. I can't knock the the brands 100% because there's some dope brands.
Yeah.
There, you know.
Yeah, but I just brought up that point because I mean more and more like we had our own thing going with the music. You know, music fought like a long fucking time to be like a culture, and once it got to that culture, it was a lot of like money being made within there.
Right.
And I think the corporations saw that and they was like, yo, let me infuse ourselves into it, which was cool because you know it kind of birthed other brands within there. It's like, yo, why not I become a corporation? You know,
Right.
like FUBU, big shouts to those guys from FUBU because
Right.
they were like from the streets of Queens.
Damon,
Yeah,
he's on Shark
Damon
Tank.
John, yeah.
Yeah.
I read his book.
He's dope. I love watching that
yeah.
show. Yeah,
I read his book.
but like like you said,
Power Broke.
like you say, you're advertising something else. Like RCA, right? They
Yeah.
were a technology company
RCA was
selling
technology.
selling phonographs,
Mm-hmm.
but they got into the music industry to sell records,
Right,
to sell more phonographs.
right.
So yeah, that's like the culture now is like selling a dope single, a dope hip hop single to sell something else, like Sprite, Little Yachty, like now on Sprite.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Damn.
it's become
Little Yachty murdered. I'm sorry, but he fucking destroyed that raw bass and DJ. You know, considering that it was my first song that made me like, you know,
Go ahead.
I don't know,
No.
man. That shit-
Hold on. Let's rewind.
that shit is
Give me
whack.
the whole thing because I hear there's a lot more what you're trying to say than
Yeah.
what you're saying. So
I mean,
so tell me.
I mean,
tell
I
me
think
what it
that's
is.
the perfect example of like, you know, just murdering something the wrong way. You
Right,
know?
right.
Just like I don't know. Like to me, it wasn't good. Like you know the whole "It Takes Two" campaign with Target and all that, and Lil Yachty. But that's just my opinion.
Right.
You know.
But you can do
And
that. You
shout
can
out to
say
Mike
what you
Will made it because he made that track. But
Right.
yeah, it was just a weird. That was a weird time for hip hop. I think, as far as you know, in my eyes, you know.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you come from where you respect the musicianship of the music. You know,
Say it
going back
again.
to
Yeah.
going back to
Musicianship.
musicianship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that again? Oh,
Well, hip hop started with a lot of non-musicians, like you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
uh,
we were all
Right,
about the
right.
sampler.
and it was dope as fuck. Like like Havoc and Mobb Deep, they were like doing shit that was like off key and stuff like that. And then you know, even when I started, I didn't know how to play within key. So like all of my
Right.
poor artists, even Lester, had to deal with me playing like a fucking bass line that was off, like from a sample. And
Yeah.
you know, I didn't understand.
I do that shit all
I
the
didn't
time.
get it.
But sometimes I'm like, man, that it just sounds sometimes. But see, this is where it comes down to like you got to trust your ear, and sometimes things aren't so technical in music.
Yeah.
exactly.
Music is not a technical thing.
But that is still musicianship.
But you
Right,
could,
right.
That's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
musicianship.
Different thing.
So don't shortchange what you did. Or what
Right,
you
right.
No,
because
I know.
That was.
You
But
have
now-
a point.
is.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
now, let me say,
exactly.
like, now that I understand, like, playing within key and all that, now I could express myself a little bit better.
Right.
Because, and it sounds a little easier to listen to, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds better. Like if I were to play a Jimi Barrz beat from like 2000 and a Jimi Barrz beat from now, it's like night and day, you know, like it just sounds better now.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
That just
works.
sounds like progression to me.
Yeah.
And growth.
Here's the thing. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying with the key thing, but it's like you give a kid a box of crayons,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
and they just go crazy with that box of crayons, man. They draw and color different things, and you look at this art, it's like, wow, I really don't get it.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
do something that's cool and famous. It makes that shit like that was abstract and crazy famous as well.
Oh, yeah.
I've always challenged that
That's
as a
dope.
creator.
Yeah.
That's a great
I'm like,
perspective.
yo,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know keys,
Yeah.
like big shouts to Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
He could have learned like the piano and different Alicia Keys. Come on, he's
Yeah.
married to
Yeah.
progressive
Yeah.
key and melodies and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
he refuses because there's something about the approach
Yeah.
towards making music.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I dig that. It's like Jay Dilla, he didn't really know music.
Oh,
His approach,
shout out to Jay.
Yeah.
No,
big
that's
shouts, R.I.P. But his
Yeah.
approach towards music was always like, yo,
Always.
whatever comes out, fuck it.
Yeah.
There it is.
But that's what,
Yeah.
it's like music is
For
not
sure.
a technical
Yeah,
thing,
right.
you know?
Yeah, you
It's
got-
whatever you
Yeah.
feel. It's
Yeah.
whatever you feel.
You got the players and you got the creators. I've always
Yeah.
looked at the music as two parts, man. You got the players that after the creators go in and they do their thing,
Yeah.
they go and they try to find that key that it was in. It's like,
Yeah.
you need to know that shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
me, on the other hand,
Yeah.
I got these crayons and I'm about to fucking go crazy.
Yeah.
You had that
yeah.
box. You had the box.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like 64 colors, and they had the sharpener in the
There
box.
you go. Yeah, you go.
Yeah. Well,
So many colors. Yeah.
well, you know what?
But that's dope. Yeah. That's
I mean, I was blessed enough to have friends around me like Lester
Yeah.
that knew how to play music.
Yes.
And I would give him samples and drums and we'd just be vibing and making some dope ass fucking records.
Yeah.
And you know, even though it was some crazy like 1970s fucking record from like Spain or some shit, and you know, like the keys themselves were all out of tune because you know they were like recorded on tape and they were hella old. and
yeah. It
heavy
had
shit.
like a flutter to it. Like
So we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
so we had musicians that would come in and be like, "Yo, you want me to play out of key like this? You know, because it's out of key." And then me and Lester would be like, "Yeah, shut the fuck up, play out of key. You know what I mean? Play it wrong." And the shit was ill, right, Les?
It was, man. It
dope
was.
as fuck,
It was. But it all came with the vision. It
Yeah.
all came with
Yeah.
the vision. You know. What
I guess
mean?
I guess all I'm saying is that right now I'm blessed enough to do both. You know, like I was dope at making beats and like making something out of like records and drums and stuff. And now like I'm, you know, like because some of my influences are like Prince and Depeche Mode.
Wow.
Yeah. So okay.
I
So
like that.
that's the question I was gonna ask next. It was like,
Prince
what
and
makes a
Depeche Mode.
Jimmy Barrz beats? You
Yeah.
know, or Jimmy Barrz beat a sound.
Yeah, well,
and it's
there's a couple of them. Yeah,
and it well
But you just
me
said
me
Prince-
haven't
he
me
just
haven't
said-
heard the beats.
Uh,
Journey haven't heard the beats.
Yeah.
Tell the audience what a Jimmy Barrz beat sounds like.
But 1 second before he gets into that, when you just said, okay, so your beats and
Yeah.
and what you're doing, you just said Prince and the Depeche Mode.
Right.
yeah,
Influence.
Spectrum.
Wow,
It's a whole nother.
that's a
Yeah.
whole lot of. To me, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
express that.
It's a wide spectrum.
yeah.
So how did you get your beats and how do you incorporate those two answers into who you are as an artist?
Yeah,
Prince and Depeche Mode.
I guess a lot of it is sexual. Like a lot of my shit, I try to make it for women. I try to make it. I try to make it a party for women.
This is
to
why
feel.
Jimmy Beats is fucking awesome.
Killing them.
Yeah. So like
It
you
comes
know,
down to
Literally
it.
fucking
Tune
awesome.
in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, it's just.
Marketing.
I think the universe itself is a sexual thing. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody's
Mother
sexual.
Earth.
So my shit.
Mother Earth.
My
yes.
shit has to be that way, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm inspired by like women's underwear, like the way they're designed and shit like that.
You got
So
women's underwear
was-
in your beats.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was trying to become like a panty designer too. Maybe later on. Maybe
We might have
Now
to
you
set
get
him
the
up.
truth.
Yeah.
Yo, he should have been here in the
We're gonna have
last
to set him up
segment,
with
you know
the-
what I mean?
Damn. Did I miss something?
Jimmy, you're not the producer that like smell panties before you start
Hey,
like making beats.
no.
Like,
Hey.
No. Listen.
no.
I'm gonna make something
No.
dope.
Nah,
I haven't tried that.
That,
But I smell them for other reasons, but not before making
that one
beats.
comes with counseling. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but
That shit is totally normal, bro. Seriously.
yeah.
Big shouts to the motherfuckers that don't admit it though.
right.
You need counseling. bro.
Yeah.
If you're not smelling your girl's panties, you need counseling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess my sound is like that. It's like you know, it's just vibey sounds, you know what I mean? There was a whole time that I was making a lot of angry music, like that's when I didn't know how to play and I didn't know how to
Wait.
express myself.
Okay, I just, if I can, Journey. You just said you were making angry music. So
Yeah.
what do you mean angry music? What was going on at that time that made you just come out with that? Because that
Yeah.
to me, that's a break. You tell
Yeah.
me angry music, so that was a point in time in your life something was going on. What was going on?
Yeah.
What was happening?
There's still struggles. I mean, it's struggles in the hood. It's struggles.
Yeah.
Struggles with women, struggles with everything. You know what I mean? And a lot of it.
South Central, and you're in South Central.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I mean, I've been lonely for a lot of time in my life.
But
you
was
know
that
what I mean? So-
personal? It was a personal thing. Was it? Was it like that? That that record that came out that was a tell of what was going on in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just said, I gotta just tell. I could just put my stuff on the line. Was that what you meant by angry? What was it?
No. I think it was the tones, like because I had a lot of like sample libraries. So before, because I would always read up on music, and I knew that if you would sample somebody, you'd have to pay them a lot of money. So I would always prepare myself for that time. So I would buy these like $200 sample libraries at Guitar Center, and then they would come with a lot of like sample free, like royalty free music, but they were really expensive. So I would sample everything that was, unfortunately, it was just like dark. It was just like it was just a lot of like choirs and a lot of like classical shit that was just angry. It was just like in a wrong key, I guess, So I would just
a minor, like a not a minor wrong key, but a minor key.
Yeah, like some diminished something. And so I would just make it knock. I would just put some heavy drums on the shit and just make it work. Because there's a lot of angry people in the hood, anyways. So I would
product of your environment.
So I would play a lot of my music and so anyways, that was one phase of my life. Then I started getting blessed by women and everything else. So like I started getting a lot of love like in my life. And,
shout out to women
and a lot of romance. So like my shit started sounding like a little sexier, a little nicer, a little more pleasing. And it still sounds hard as fuck, but it's just a different
dope.
Vibe now. You know what I mean? It's
just dope.
It's a different vibe. So
it's dope. Yeah.
So
I feel that because I mean, like you can only express, and your honesty lies within your sound.
Yeah.
You can like listen to a track and be like, "Yo, you made that? Oh shit, I can imagine what you were thinking when you made this."
Yeah.
It's kind of that truth. It's to where you are at.
Yeah.
Pinpoints, man.
Yeah.
Did you like tell me this? Like when you were in your angry stage of like making music, did you like name the tracks? Did you like name them like for what you were going through at the time?
Yeah.
Give us a title.
There was like songs that was
angry.
like Just Us, and it was just like, I guess it was just like us, fuck everybody else type of shit.
Yeah.
There was songs that were just named Angry.
Name like
Motherfuckers
five
were
of
just-
them, like five joints that like you would name your tracks.
I want to remind you of one, Jimi Barrz.
Yeah.
The Incredible.
Oh yeah. The Incredible. Yeah. The Incredible was just like some big superhero song,
Yeah. Dark music.
Dropping
Give us a couple
knowledge.
titles.
Dark.
I guess one of them was like Incredible.
Okay.
It's not like that Future song right now, that Incredible. It's not pretty sounding like that. It was like the stuff that I was trying to do was like trying to make super villain music. So like I always hated like the
not superhero but super villain.
I always hated the superheroes. I always hated like the good guys.
They're kind of
I was
predictable,
always,
right?
Right.
Yeah, but they just didn't have fun. They
They had to do it because they had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
So,
Despicable Me is your type of movie. That was your movie. You wrote the movie before it came out.
yeah, so like just like I was trying to make music for like the bad guys. So like
So give us a few titles.
One of them was Incredible. The other one was called Galaga, which was like that video game. It sounded all futuristic and shit. I guess Just Us.
Just Us.
it's just represented like us against everybody else kind of vibe.
Also, like the Tupac.
So
track.
when it got
Against the World,
sexy,
Yeah.
so when your music got sexy,
I
what was
see.
it? Give me a couple names of some sexy tracks that you made.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I got this one song.
Panty dropper.
No.
Oh, that's not sexy.
Yeah, like one of them was called like, just I'll name them after like R&B hits like Rock the Boat or like Pony and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm redoing a lot of like some R. Kelly stuff right now too.
Okay.
But one of them's called like Wetterin because it's like some girl that's like a vet at getting wet. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, that was. I think that's for like the Playboy TV show or something.
Yeah.
Wetterin. You're a wetterin.
Yeah.
But that's dope. But
That's genius.
I'm in the titles, man, because it pinpoints where you're at that point, man, and it gives like an artist when they come in to write, because that feel is injected into that sound.
Right.
So
Right.
it gives them a pinpoint on where to go with it.
Yeah, there's like a couple of more. There's one called Everything She Wants. It's based on that Everything She Wants by Wham by George Michael.
Okay.
It's like within that key. There's other titles, Sweet. There's this one song that's just like it's just real. It's dope, like I played it for some girl and she was like, yo, I'm like getting wet listening to this. So I was just like, oh, dope, it's working.
Work.
Yeah, so,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
yeah.
That's in the wet folder.
Yeah. I got to categorize everything a little bit better. But right now I just got to, my hard drive just has like 2014, 2015 and so on. So like I don't got them categorized yet. So like when you listen to some Jimi Barrz beats, it's like all over the place,
Yeah.
You get everything, I guess.
Now tell me this. We talked about this on a few episodes ago. The A to Z producer,
Yeah.
which is the songwriter and everything like that, hook writer. Did you ever get off into writing?
No, I just give them ideas.
Okay.
Sometimes I mumble the melody because I didn't understand that. Like I understood what I was trying to do, but I thought it was wrong. And then I heard like Michael Jackson's Billie Jean mumble melody. Like there's a YouTube video out there, and it's just Michael Jackson mumbling, Billie Jean.
Yeah.
And the shit is dope, So like I'll do a lot of that stuff.
And then and that's what he would do. He would mumble the different instruments. He would be in the studio with the musicians, and he'd be like, drummer, do this.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, bass player, play boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
And and
that's right.
all you got to do is mumble the shit with dope musicians in the studio.
They'll find it.
They'll pick it up like this, like in a second.
Yeah.
And then that's the brilliance of people like MJ and Quincy Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So that's a form of writing, because you're writing melodies, but you're using like the tones and everything like that, vocal tones.
Yeah, I mean, I also I bank on a lot of concepts. Like I have this story called Beat Lactica, and it takes place in 3088, and it's supposed to be like I was trying to make it.
This is Jimi Barrz.
I was trying to make it
visionary.
Like man, that's
this guy's a movie producer.
Almost. But I was trying to make it like a time capsule album. So like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna make this album and then like bury it somewhere, like in a thumb drive, and like say open in 3088. But then I figured I'm not gonna get paid, so I gotta like release it now or something.
I think we should still do that, man.
That's a dope shit, man. Because I mean, that's what the Egyptians did for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's another conversation.
Hopefully we'll get Hopefully it will get paid now, and then we'll bury it, even though. But like Beat Lactica is like, since we're like my stuff is like concept, it's just takes place. It takes place in the future in 3088, and it's just like, like all love is gone. Like love doesn't exist anymore. Like for all the humans, and there's these genetically modified like robots, and they're like part human being, and they're cyborgs, and so people use them to like have sex and do different things with them.
Do jobs, do all types of shit.
Yeah, so like Beat Lactica, it's just like the battle for war, for love. I mean, the battle for love, and it's just like
It's dope.
But
That's hard.
But the cyborgs represent everybody that's an outcast in society. So like anybody that's black, anybody that's Mexican, anybody that's white, or anybody that's handicapped, anybody that's gay, anybody that's any type of like outcast.
Yeah.
They represent the cyborgs. And then at the end of the story, it's like the cyborg has more heart than a human does. So it's like it just represents like all the people that are outcasted. I'm like an outcast because of the way that I look outwardly. Like a lot of women don't like, oh, this dude's like too aggressive or whatever the case may be. So it represents me too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like it's just like trying to get love.
Period.
It's just trying to find it.
It's about the ones fighting for love. When love no longer exists.
Well, it's
in
the ones
world.
that are giving love, and you're gonna find love in the least place expected. You know what I mean? So that's what it represents, and I have this other thing called Terminator. It's like a side story to that, but it's also gonna be an album, and it's about like these women that are like 300 feet tall, and men like us, we fall in love with 300 foot tall women, And, so it's like
no, that's very
You need a
true.
cartoon, bro.
Dude.
Yeah, so like it's like kind of like the Blade Runner kind of, So like there's these bounty
Like the girl
hunters,
with 3 tits.
Yeah, maybe. But it's
all about what we.
Oh no, that
see.
was Total Recall. Sorry, that was Total Recall. I think, right?
Yes, it was.
And
Yeah.
The size of these women, all that means is like they're, I guess, they're what they require of a man. Right. So a lot of times it's like you're tiny compared to all these requirements. You know what I mean? So it's like
the truth.
So that's where the feeling is like, yo, you 300 foot tall with all the demands. You know what I mean? So
How would you even have sex with someone? It's like
I don't think you can.
After all that climbing,
Too literal.
No, you can't.
That's way too literal right now.
You
I'm
can't.
too tired.
You can't, but that's where love prevails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't figured that part out yet.
All right. Well, this
Hey.
takes us to our next question, or our last question of the night.
Yeah.
Last question. What's your superpower?
My superpower, I think, is just staying young, having a young ear. I know I'm like gonna die one day, but my soul's gonna be forever. So, but it's just like having a young ear and being able to grow with the new sound, and it's like a lot of these people that are like vampires. They claim that there's a lot of vampires amongst us, like people that have lived through many generations.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's like one of them. They show like crazy ass pictures of Jay-Z like in the 1800s or something. But anyways,
I've seen that meme. I've seen that meme.
So it's just like being able to be like dope and current, and that's about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's in essence Jimi Barrz. The future, the present, and the past.
Let me say one more thing real quick. There's a couple things. I think that one of my boys, shout out to Eric Jackknife. He's one of my co-producers. He's part of the Synth Lords team.
Yeah.
And it's myself, Traction.
Shout out.
And
Shout out
Eric
to Eric
Jackknife.
J. Eric J.
He was telling me about the struggle, and he was like, yo, man, the struggle, this and this, And I was like, yeah, it's crazy because I myself, I drive a Toyota Camry, all right? And I want a Lexus. And I saw this girl like passing me up on the 110 one morning, and she had a little BMW. And what do you think she wants? She probably wants a Mercedes, but she's like zipping through the freeway. And then I saw the dude in a Tesla. The dude probably wants a Rolls Royce. The dude in a Rolls Royce probably want a yacht.
Yeah.
So it's always a struggle, but it's only a struggle if you allow it to. You know?
Yeah.
Like if it could be a triumph, it could be a victory once you give up on everything. You know, once you give up on trying to please everybody, and even trying to please your carnal, you know, needs. You know what I mean? So I think that you know, we just gotta give up on the struggle sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a struggle. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, but yeah. And then another thing is like, you know, I just want to tell people that they should concentrate on their sound. They shouldn't try to sound like anybody else, because I think like from another universe, every tone, every melody, every fucking pitch, every song, every record,
Right.
sounds like one tone to another universe far away. So even though you're trying to even though you're trying to fit in and you're trying to do a lot of shit, it's like your sound is one tone anyways, like to another universe. So you got to be original. You got to be yourself. And
that's what's up.
You know, that's where you're going to get dope. Like I had a lot of people that, you know, I would be part of their projects, but they wouldn't want Jimi Barrz to come out. So I had to take a break, and Jimi Barrz came out, and that's where I'm at right now, you know. So it's like everybody, you could do it, man. I don't know how to play music. I never knew how to play music. You know, I'm from the hood. I play dope shit, and you know, I did it, so anybody can.
Wow.
You're ahead of your time. You're ahead of your time, Jimi Barrz.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Trip Digital Sound Art Expression, Jimi Barrz. You can check him out every Wednesday on the Hack. He's a new member of the Camp Fire, and yeah, his work is being shown.
Yeah.
Really quick, just give us your Instagram, where people can find you.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter is at Jimi Barrz. SoundCloud is Synth Lords. It's SYNTHLORDZ. And then that's about it.
Cool.
I represent something called BEST as well, Beyond Every Story Told. So it's like a feel, you know, like a camp feel, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm trying to do too.
Beyond Every Story Told.
Yeah, so thanks for having me.
What's up?
Yeah.
Digital Sound Art Expression. We're out.
Out.
What's up, world? It's your man, DJ Journey. I want to say thanks for watching this video. But first, you got to like this video. And then after liking it, you got to subscribe, because we want to keep this coming to you. We get more interesting, so keep it coming.